Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This year should be a special schus. The Refuas, Miriam Bas Chaya, and Liora Rachel Bas Chaya Rezel, Chaya Rezel Bas Dina, Sarah Leah Bas Rivka, Rav Yitzchak ben Bracha, Rav Ben Yosef ben Moshe Chaim, and Rav Yoshua Meir ben Rachel Sarah. We're going to be continuing our series in Hilchos Melachim, the Siyata D'Shmaya. We're going to learn now Perek Gimel Halachas Hey and Vav, and we're going to be basing ourselves on the Sefer Pillei Plos Haflei Vafela Be'er Miriam of Agona Gadol Rav David Yitzchak Man. Says the Rambam, Hamelech Aser Lishtos Derech Shichus. The king is not allowed to drink till he gets drunk. Shenemar Al LeMelachim Shesu Yayin. That kings shouldn't drink wine. Eliyeh Osek B'Torah U'B'Tzarchei Yisrael B'Yom U'V'Layla. But rather, he should be Osek in Torah and the needs of the Jewish people, both by day and by night. Shenemar V'Haisa Imo V'Karabo Kol Yemei Chayav. As it says, it will be with him, meaning the Sefer Torah, and he should read it all the days of his life. So he should be Osek in Torah and in Tzarchei Yisrael day and night, and not get drunk. V'chein lo yehei shatuf b'nashim. The king should also not be immersed in women. Afilu lo haisa lo ela achas lo imotzas lo tamid kishar tipshin. Even if he only has one wife, he shouldn't be with her all the time like the fools. That they're just always looking for another, more and more romance, day and night, day and night, day and night. You have to have a life also. Shenamar al titein l'nashim chelecha. It's a pasuk in Mishlei. Al titein l'nashim chelecha, Perek Lamed Aleph, pasuk Gimel. Do not give your strength to wives. Al asaras libo ekpida Torah. The Torah was makbid that they shouldn't move his heart. Remember, his heart shouldn't be moved. Shalibo lev kol kahal Yisrael. His heart is the heart of the Jewish people. Lefikach divko hakasuv b'Torah yeser mishara am shenemar kol yemei chayav. And therefore, the pasuk made him adhere to the Torah more than anybody else. It says all the days of his life. So here in the Kiryas Sefer, the Mabit is called all together. These two halachas in the Rambam in one inyan. He says, "V'davek hakasav v'samelech b'Torah k'tasiv v'haisimo, etc. Kadesh lo yimashich achar hamishte v'achar hanoshim shafilu achas u'mesiris libo aser." So he puts them together, not to be a drinker and not to be immersed in woman. Even one woman who removes his heart from serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu is already aser. Not only over 18 is aser, but even one if she's moving his heart from Hashem. So you see that the Kiryas Sefer is kolel the din of the Rambam in Halacha Hey l'gabi shtiyas yayin l'melachim, with what the Rambam writes in Halacha Vav that he shouldn't be shatuf b'nashim. However, in the Rambam himself, we see that they're two separate halachas, because in Halacha Hey he writes the contrast, the shtiyas yayin. Says, don't drink too much, but rather be Osek B'Torah Yom and B'Layla. And he brings the pasuk B'Karbo Kol Yemei Chayav. And then in Halacha Vav, he says that this is totally in the fact that his leiv Kol Yisrael. And therefore, the Fikach Divko HaKasav B'Torah, the pasuk, made him adhere more to the Torah than anybody else. Not mitzad b'chiyuv limud Torah b'yom u'b'layla, but rather, mitzad that his leiv kol kahal Yisrael. In Halacha Hey, it says that he has to be osek b'Torah yom and b'layla. It's two different halachas. Also in Halacha Hey, he writes he's not allowed to drink derech shichrus, and he writes a lashon of iser lishtos derech shichrus. In Halacha Vav, he only writes shelo yeshativ b'nashim. He doesn't write a lashon of iser. Also in Halacha Hey, he adds the chiyuv of osek b'tzarchei Yisrael b'yom u'melayla. And in Halacha Vav, he doesn't mention this at all. And from all this, it appears that these are two different isurim, two different gedarim, two different dinim, two different ta'amim, and each one is separate. The Rambam writes Halacha Hey independently and Halacha Vav independently. The Hadvarim tzrichin biur to understand the differences between the two halachas. It would appear as follows. The Rambam writes in Halacha Vav that the leiv of the king is leiv kol kahal Yisrael, and therefore divko akasav b'Torah yaseh b'shara am. He has to be more attached to the Torah than anybody else. And it would seem from this, we can see the yesod of the Turei Even and Rosh Hashanah Yud Zayin Amid Beis. It says there in the Gemara that stuck tza'aka is effective only before the Gzar Din and not after the Gzar Din. Frek the Turei Even that we see in Brachas, like Chizkiyahu HaMelech and Daf Yud Amid Aleph, that Yeshayahu HaNavi told him, Kvar Nigzur Alecha Gzeira, the decree was already decreed. Amar lo ben amot kaleinu v'ascha b'tzei. That he said to him, stop being misnabe and go out. Kach mikublani. I have a tradition. Afilu cherev chad amunachas al tzavar shel adam al yimna atzma min harachamim. Even when a sharp sword is on a person's neck, he shouldn't despair of divine mercy. So Yeshaya said that he's going to die because he wasn't Osei Compir Verivia, and that the decree was already finished, and Hiskio said it's not true, and he went and he davened to Hashem. So Frekta Turei Even, I don't understand. Tzaka doesn't help after Gemar Din, and he said after the Gzar Din, there was already a Gzar Din on him. So how did his tzaka, how is his tzaka effective? So Turei Even answers, Ayin Sham, that a king is different because he is equal to the whole tzibur, like Shlomo said, Lasos mishpat avdo, mishpat amo Yisrael, Melachim Aleph, Perek Pasuk Nantes, that he does, to do this, the judgment of your servant and the judgment of the Jewish people. You see, the judgment of your servant, of the Melech, is equal to the judgment of the Jewish people. Melech shakol k'tzibur. And by its tzibur, tza'aka is effective even after the Gzar Din, like it says there in the Gemara. Ad kan divrei haturei even ayin b'zeh b'meshech chachma, at the end of the Sefer Shmos and Haftarah Zachor, what he writes, Al Pi Turei Even. In any event, in the Yerushalmi and Sanhedrin Perek Beis Halacha Gimel, it says, Melech v'tzibur nidon in the front of Kol Yom. A king and a tzibur are judged before Hashem every day. Shenemar lasos mishpat avdo. As it says, to do the judgment of your servant and mishpat amo Yisrael. So they're equated. So it's mefurish, like the Turei Even writes, that we equate a king and Klal Yisrael. Rashi ala Torah, Parshas Chukas, Bamidbar Chaf Aleph, that Moshe is Yisrael and Yisrael is Moshe. Lomer lecha shenasi ador u'kuchol ador ki anasi hu hakol. Nasi is everything. Or Chaim HaKadosh ala Torah, Parshas Vayera, Bereshis Perek Chav Pasuk Dalet on the Pasuk Hagoy Gam Tzadik Taharog. That what do you mean Hagoy Gam Tzadik Taharog? You're going to kill a nation and it's tzaddik. So it's Abimelech is talking. He's just a person. So he explains that like Abei Mises Achav, we find that there's a lashon of Misal Kol Ha'am, because the tsar of the king is the tsar of the whole nation. And that's like we've been saying, that a king has a din of the whole nation. And according to this, it would appear that when the Rambam says that Libo Lev Kol Kahal Yisrael, Fikach Divko HaKasuv, the Torah, Yesim Mishar Ha'am, that means that just like we find a din and a kiyum of Mitzvah Talmud Torah, that's miyuchad, when all of the Jewish people are learning what we have in Megillah and Daf Dalet Amud Aleph, Kriyas Megillah is Deicha Talmud Torah, but that's only Talmud Torah D'Yachid and not Talmud Torah D'Rabbim. Rashi says Talmud Torah D'Rabbim is Talmud Torah D'Kol Yisrael. So it's Tosis there in Dibur Maschal Emesh, and so the Ran and the Iri, see also in the Bach and Arachaim, Simon Tarpazim, Magen Avram, and Siv Katan Gimel over there. So it's a Kiyum Miyuchad Shel Shem Talmud Torah that we have on the entire Jewish people, because Talmud Torah V'Yachid is pushed away for Kriyas and Megillah, but not of Rabbim. So Melech Shehu Mikachol Yisrael, a king was the status of the entire Jewish people. His Talmud Torah is considered Talmud Torah de Rabbim. Because of that, there's a special kiyum in his Talmud Torah. So it's a chiyuv miyuchad. Like the Rambam writes that he is a dibuk b'Torah yeser mishar ha'am. Why yeser mishar ha'am? Because his Torah is not like every individual Jew. His Torah is the Torah of God's Klal Yisrael. So therefore, he has a special chiyuv in Talmud Torah. And that would appear to be the yesod of mitzvahs hakel. That's a chiyuv miyuchad of Talmud Torah on all of the Jewish people, which, as we said, is a chiyuv, is a din Talmud Torah, miyuchad, a special din Talmud Torah. Like the Rambam writes in Chagiga Gimel Vav, that there's an inyan of Kabbalah Satorah Mehar Sinai at Hakel. And that's like we've been saying, that there's an inyan miyuchad b'Torah l'kol Yisrael. And because of this, the chiyuv kriya is al yidei HaMelech, since the king has in his kriya mitzad melech din Talmud Torah shall kol Yisrael, and for the kiyum of Talmud Torah of kol Yisrael, it's not enough that the listeners should be kol Yisrael. The one making it heard, the mashmiya, also has to be kol Yisrael, and that we only find by a melech. Rabbi Yerucham Fishel Perla and the Rasag, Mitzvah's essay, Zion, talks about this. He asks if a king is ma'akev, because you see, based on what we're saying, that not only the shomea has to be Gans Klal Yisrael, but the mashmiya also should be Gans Klal Yisrael, the king, and he's a choker if melech is ma'akev. And now it appear to be pshat in the sugya and the chagiga, of course, that it says there, Tana Rabbanan, Maisa, Rabbi Yochanan ben Brokel, Elazar ben Chasma, Shahochol Lekavos Pnei Rabbi Yoshua, Shabbos Shalmi Haisa, Shabbos Rabbi ben Azariah Haisa, Uvimaisa, Haggadah Hayom, Amrullah B'Parashas Hakel, Madorash Bas. The kids, they went to see the Rebbe, and he asked them what the drasha was, and they told him, Hakel es ha'no'am ha'noshim v'noshim v'hataf, v'manoshim bo'im lilmod, v'noshim bo'os l'shmoa, ha'flam bo'im k'dei litin schar l'meviyayim. So the men are coming to learn. The women are coming to listen. Why are the kids coming? To give schar to those who bring them. And in the drashas Maharim Mintz, in Drusha Aleph, he's marich, and so to Nukliyako, and Parshas Vayelech, ve'od, to ask Mamanav Shach, if there's no toeles, then why is there schar for those who bring the kids? There's no benefit, there's no schar. So how can you talk about schar? And also, why don't we say this in all mitzvahs in the Torah, that there should be schar for those who bring ketanim? And why dafka in mitzvahs hakel is there this in Ayin Shem, what they write? Based on what we said, we can say as follows, that there's no kiyum mitzvah, liktanim, or not going to be Mekayim, they're not going to understand, they're not going to be Mekayim the mitzvah of Talmud Torah. But lifol chalos Talmud Torah shall kol Yisrael, for that you need Talmud Torah, ketanim. You don't need ketanim, ketanim. You need ketanim as part of Klal Yisrael. And therefore, that's the toeles l'miviyayim. So, for the ketanim per se, there is no toeles, but for us, for Klal Yisrael, there is toeles in the middle of the schar l'miviyayim. So all the Gedolim have toeles in the fact that now it's Talmud Torah of Klal Yisrael. And look there in Tosas, and that it says to give schar l'miviyayim, that on that there's somech to bring ketanim to shul. Seches Sofer, Perik Yitchetz, Halacha Vav, it says to bring the boys and girls to shul. And this is shver. There's no tzivui at all. So what lahavi schar l'miviyayim is there? Based on what we said, there's a din of tzibur, there's a din of kol, so you need ketanim, and the Beis Knesses is a place where the tzibur gathers. Memela, there's a din that there should be ketanim. It says there in the Seches Sofrim that nashim have to be makabel schar psiyas, and ketanim lahavi schar l'miviyayim. The Gemara in Chagiga, it says nashim kedei l'shmo, and not schar psiyas. We can say that the Gemara in Chagiga is talking in the Havamina that there's no chiddush yet of the Talmud Torah the Rabbin, and therefore it's a tachlis latzman kedei l'shmoa. But the maskana, women are also, you need a kahal, women are also part of the kahal, women are also part of the community. So when it comes to the ketanim, there's only schar l'miviyayim. But the gabei nashim, they themselves have a kiyum when they come, because they are creating this Talmud Torah the Rabbin. They have das to do that, and that's the schar psiyas. So not mitzad women themselves learning Torah, because women themselves are not chayiv in Talmud Torah, but rather it's schar psiyas be'alma. It's in yana yishtadlus b'mitzvah. So that's schar psiyas, is their effort. So the women also, they made this effort to create Talmud Torah the Rabbin. So they themselves are not chayiv in Talmud Torah. But since they created this Talmud Torah the Rabbin, they get schar psiyas. It's interesting that in Masechah Sofrim we see that this is exactly Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah Darshan on the day that they were Moshe in the yeshiva. So it stimms at the Gemara in Chagiga that they're both talking about this din of Rabbim, both the Beis Knesses and Hakel. However, we can say another inyan in what the Rambam writes that there's a chi of Talmud Torah miyuchad b'melech mitzad shelibo hulev kol kahal Yisrael. In the Tosefta Perak Dalet of Sanhedrin Halacha Hey Yerushalmi Sanhedrin Perak Beis Halacha Vav, it says that there's a kal v'chomer ma melech Yisrael, that he's only that shelo osak ela b'tzarcha Yisrael. It says kol yimei chayav shar kol adam malachas kama v'kamo. So we have to understand Adarabba. We see in the Rambam a special reason that there's a chiyuv of a melech Yisrael. So what's the kal v'chomer l'stam adam she'en libo kalev kol Yisrael? How can you say if a king has to learn, certainly kol klal Yisrael? No. Rambam here says there's a special reason the king has to learn, because his leiv is leiv kol Yisrael. And also look in the Chatzkel Abramsky in this Chazon Yechezkel that he asks, what's the kal v'chomer? It's pashut that he's only chayiv in Talmud Torah when he's not osek b'tzarchei tzibur. He's osek b'tzarchei Yisrael. He's patur in Talmud Torah. So that's like every other Jew. So what's the kal v'chomer? If a king is chayav, so too certainly everybody else. Why? Just like if he's busy, he doesn't have to learn. So too, if they're busy doing mitzvahs, they don't have to learn. So it would appear, based on the Yisod of the Or Samech, Kanti Yisod, Perak Aleph Milchus Talmud Torah, that the Chi of Talmud Torah of Kol Yochid v'Yochid is according to his Madregos and his Kirchos HaNefesh. And everybody has a special shir in Talmud Torah. Just Kriya Shema is a Chi of, and everybody Shachris v'Arvis. But when it comes to learning the rest of the time, that's everybody Lefi Kochos Nafsho. This is actually Mavur already in the Maharshan, Sanhedrin, Zayin Amud Beis, Dibur Maschel, Ela Divrei Torah. And in this the Rambam tells us that the Melech is Lev, is Kalev Kol Kahal Yisrael. In other words, his din is like somebody who has the Kochos of Talmud Torah, like Kol Kahal Yisrael. And through this, he's a Chi of Talmud Torah, V'lo Gvul, B'yom U'V'layla. And in that the Tosefta and the Yerushalmi say that a Kal V'chomer, for someone who has Kochos B'mitzias, and not only because of the din, not only is kochos in lamdas, because his leiv is leiv kol kahal Yisrael. Certainly, somebody who has the kochos b'foal b'mitzias, he's chayav lefi kochosav. This is talking about somebody who taka has the kochos la'atzlacha b'Talmud Torah, and this is a kal v'chomer melech. But even though b'foal he's busy with tzarchei Yisrael, but nevertheless, since it's considered that he has koach bilti mugbal, he's chayiv in Torah below gvul. Certainly somebody who in fact has a koyach b'li mugbal. So it emerges according to this that within Talmud Torah de Melech there's more of a chiyuv and there's more of a kiyum. He's more chayiv than everybody else, and he's mekayim more than everybody else. His leiv kol kahal Yisrael. His Talmud Torah is in the level of tzibur, different madrega. And that would apparently be pshat in the Psukim in Mishlei. It says there, Perak Lamed Aleph, Al titein l'nashim cheilecha. Udrachecha lamchos milachin. Do not give your strength to wives, and do not let your conduct destroy the protocol of kings. So, what's cheilecha? Cheilecha are the kochos that are miyuchad l'Talmud Torah below gvul. So don't give your kochos to the women. But you're always busy with the women, with the ladies, and you're not giving your kochos to Talmud Torah. But some people do. They have tremendous kochos for Talmud Torah, and they spend, especially teenagers, and they spend their time running after girls. V'drachecha, that your ways, which are darchei malchus, and because of that, there's a special kiyum of Talmud Torah. Mitzad malchus, and instead of this kiyum, he's busy being erasing, being mevatel, the protocol of kings, because they have a special din Talmud Torah. That's the protocol of a Jewish king. So the pasuk is saying, don't run after the ladies all the time, because you have these special chiyuv and a special kiyum. Talmud Torah you have to be learning all the time, and there's a very special kiyum when you do so. Kol Yisrael. But the Gabi Yayin, we see there in Pasuk Dalid, Al Melachim Lemoel, Al Melachim Sheso Yayin Uleroznim, Ai Shechar. It is not proper for kings who belong to God, it is not proper for kings to drink much wine, and for princes to imbibe drink. That's the pasuk that the Rambam quotes. Rambam quotes Al Titein L'Noshim Chelecha that we just read in Halacha Vav, when he tells them not to be shatav b'noshim. And he also quotes pasuk in Halacha Hey, also there in Mishlei. Pasuk away, at Alam Melachim Shosei Yayin. Continues the pasuk. Next pasuk. Pen yishte v'yishkach mechukak v'yishane din kol b'nei yir, lest he drink and forget the statute of the Torah and pervert the judgment of all of the children of the poor. In other words, it's not only pchisus, it's not only bittul, like we learned about the wine, but the wine we said, D'rachecha, lamchos melachim, that your conduct will destroy the protocol of kings. But here, it's an iser mamish, it's pchisus, it's something, it's bittul if he's not doing as kings should do. But here it's an iser mamish. By yayin, it's an iser mamish because then he's gonna change the din of kol b'nei oni. Did I read b'nei ir? Of kol b'nei oni. He's going to change the din of all the poor people. And that's already an iser. So when we talk about women, it's pchisus and bittul. Not the right thing. He's not acting like a king should act. But here it's an iser mamish. He's going to change the din. He's going to pervert the judgments of the children of the poor. Because of the wine, he's going to change the halacha. The Rambam writes later on, Perak Dalet halacha yud, that the ikar malchus is for din. And that's what it means. Pen yishte, shochach mechukak. It's talking about din. It's talking about Talmud Torah. And Yishana kol b'nei oni. Because he's chayav to take care of the needs of the Jewish people. And he's not going to do what he's supposed to do. And therefore it's gewaldik that in halacha hey, it's mvur in the Rambam and Isser Mamish. When we're talking about drinking wine, because he's going to change what he's mechuyev to do, the din melech, and the chiddush of the Rambam is it's also even at night, because then also he has to deal with the needs of the Jewish people. He's chayiv in Talmud Torah. He's chayiv in Esa Kol Yisrael. He's a melech. He's not allowed to be a drunkard. He's not allowed to drink too much. Regular guy, not in such a high madrega. And if he gets drunk every so often, it's not necessarily usher. Obviously, shouldn't get out of hand. And the ideal is that a person shouldn't be on that madrega. But if a person isn't on the madrega, Friday night, instead of sitting all Friday night and learning, he has some nice King David Kedem wine, or whatever brand you drink. This is not an advertisement for Kedem. It's not the end of the world. He's not chayiv, but a king is a special chayiv. Shenkin in Halacha Vav, the Rambam the Rambam's talking about the ladies. It's not mitzad azman shalayla. Remember in Halacha Hey, the Rambam mentions Laila. So he has to be osik b'tor b'tzorcha yisrael b'yom u'v'layla. But in Halacha Vav, there the Rambam doesn't mention Isser, and he doesn't mention Laila. Because there is no Isser. there's no special inyan of Laila. It's just not proper that a king should take his kochos and his special kiyum of Talmud Torah and give them to women, and instead invest his energies in romance. And instead of the kiyum of Talmud Torah, to be with the Torah, he's having, every night he's having a candlelight dinner with his wife. It's not right for a king. Because divko akos of the Torah. Why? Because libo leiv kol kahal Yisrael. He has a special kiyum of Talmud Torah, that his leiv is the leiv of kol kahal Yisrael. And therefore, he has to learn more than anybody else. He has this din of Talmud Torah derabim. It's not mamish and isser, it's just not right. But in halacha hey, like we see from the pasuk, it is an isser, because he's going to change the din. In halacha hey, he speaks about the schi of Yom V'Layla. He has to be osek b'tzorcha Yisrael Yom V'Layla. Therefore, it's usher for him to be involved in drinking. But in halacha vav, it's not mitzad Yom V'Layla. It's mitzad that his leiv is leiv kol kahal Yisrael. And therefore, he has a special chiv of Talmud Torah. But not mamish and isser. And that we see in the Psukim in Mishlei, that only with respect to wine, it says there, Al Melachim Limoel. What does that mean? Rashi says, Limoel is that he's Shayach Le'el. It is not proper for kings who belong to God. He's Shayach to Hashem. Why don't we have that same expression by Al Titein Lenoshim Chelecha? By not being involved too much in the ladies. Why does it only say it by the Yayin? Based on what we said, it's very good. The Yayin, the Chiddush is that there's no time of day that is not Meshubed L'Malchus. And therefore, he's usher in wine, even at night, because that's what the Rambam is telling us in Halacha Hey. In Halacha Hey, the Rambam is telling us that all the time he has to be involved in Tzarchei Yisrael. And therefore that means even at night. And therefore at night he shouldn't be drinking wine. It's also for him to drink derech shichrus, because it's a 24/7 job being melech. It's shayach lekel, even at night. And therefore it says, L'moel, L'misha shayach lekel, somebody who's shayach to Hashem. In other words, he has no time for himself, and therefore he's aser b'chol zman b'yayin. And this isn't about, this has nothing to do with the Isser Nashim. The Isser Nashim is not because it's to steer it his shibud. He's not aser b'nashim because he's meshubet to Klal Yisrael 24/7. No, there it's because it's a pchisus l'ma'alasel. There it's just not appropriate for somebody of such high standing to be involved all the time in his romantic relationships with his wife or wives. It's a pchisus. Why is it a pchisus? Because it's something low for him. Because his leiv is leiv kol kahal Yisrael. His heart is the heart of the entire Jewish people. Therefore, somebody in such a high madrega, somebody with such a high level chiyuv, that such a special chiyuv and kiyum of Talmud Torah, that it's like a Talmud Torah derabim, so it's beneath his dignity to be with, to be matzu yetzla tamid, like kishara tipshin, to always be with his wife. It's not appropriate for the king, because it's beneath his level. So in Halacha Hey, the Rambam is telling us, the king is completely subordinate to Hashem, and to the Jewish people 24/7. And therefore it's usher for him to drink wine, like the pasuk brings us as a lashon of Isser. It doesn't say lashon of Isser, but it says it's going to change the din of the Bnei Oni. That's already an Isser. And he's subordinate if he's a drinker, and he's subordinate to them 24/7. So therefore, he's now allowed to drink derech shichus ever. And then in Halacha Vav, the Rambam is telling us the madrega of the king. What's the madrega of the king? The madrega of the king is his leiv kol kahal Yisrael. And therefore, it's not appropriate, not mitzad that he doesn't have the time to be with his wives because he should be so busy learning, but mitzad that he has such a broad, such a vast responsibility because his leiv kol kahal Yisrael. He has this chiyuv bilti mugbal in Talmud Torah, just like the Jewish people do. Even if before he can't do it, but nevertheless, that's his chiyuv. He has to do it as much as he can because he's the king. So therefore, it's pchisus for this person whose leiv is kol kahal Yisrael, and he's such a tremendous kiyum of Talmud Torah. It's pchisus for him. It's beneath his dignity and wrong, if not mamish aser, for him to be involved with the nashim always aliyah matzu yatzla tamid kishara tipshi. So we Baruch Hashem, we have a mahalach in the Rambam that, as we said in Halacha Hey, Halacha Vav is machmas chelecha, because of his power. He shouldn't give his power to women. He should instead give his power to Talmud Torah. And Halacha Hey, that all of his time should be for Talmud Torah, and day and night. And we understand that it's when one is us, why one is us, or why isn't. And we learn Yesodus and Mitzvahs Hakel, and in Talmud Torah the Rabbim, and bringing the Ketanim to Shul. And it was Mamish Pillei Plus. And obviously there's tons more to say in the Rambam, but we will conclude here. Give ourselves a bracha, which we zocha lumo dulamed, lishmor velasos, v'lekayim is called divrei salma tarasu v'yahava, amen v'amen, shalom, shalom, sweetest and most beloved friends.